from the City
So fun.
is one of the best video game songs ever. And the fact that this game opens with just like, it just right out of the gate, you like, what is it? You jump out of a plane or a helicopter or whatever, and just like bam, damp, 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 with just like that funky bass line, and then just like drop into this like skateboarding, sledding, snowboarding thing through a city with this like ripping rock thing. Oh my god.
Alrighty. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Certified Bad Takes. It's your host with the most, the big homie Karsten. I'm here today with the new Viking up top. We tried to tell him not to go to Norway, but he didn't listen. Axel.
Oh, hello. Or, I mean, Skull.
Is that
Did
actually
ever become Norway?
Is that actually hello in
It's a,
I don't
know, it's a Viking word, right?
He probably just said feet in Viking. He doesn't know it.
Furry
We
feet.
just,
That's what he said. He said,
Exactly.
I like furry feet in Viking.
Skull
just
means
gotta say
cheers.
some
Skull
people.
means cheers. So, honestly,
Yeah, that works.
yeah, that works.
There you go.
Yeah.
Absolutely. To my corner right, we've got the UI programmer who, good God, I don't know how he does it every day. Ben,
I don't know how I do it either. I'm a lost puppy.
hang in there. Somebody will adopt you one day. I promise.
He's already been adopted. He has a wonderful life.
Not fair.
It's true. She's out there putting up with me right now.
And
I
then
don't know what that means.
And then the bionic commando himself, coming live from direct from under your sink, we got Erik.
Do
Really?
you want to say
Nothing?
hi?
No,
You're gonna
I
be
was
weird?
trying to think of something specific. Regardless.
You can't hear him anyway. He's under the sink. Someone's got to open the door.
Yeah, gotta make sure there's some cuts in the pipe, so I have work to come back to.
Bingo.
It's job reassurance.
Yeah, he always leaves one small leak, so you got to call him again in 6 months. All right, we're coming to you live and direct today with a brand new game. Something a little bit different. So normally we make drafts, come up with lists, and then we argue about who has the best list. But today I want you to pony up and prove that you've got the best list. So here's how the game works. We've each brought 4 underrated, let's say, video games. Less than a 75 on Metacritic. And each time you've got to defend your game against us and prove to us that this is a game worth playing. So we'll go around the room, you'll bring your video game, say why it's great, why the critics got it wrong, why people should play it. And then for about minute and a half, Axel's got his hand up, got a question from the crowd.
I never said any of my games were great. I just want to make sure that's understood.
I think we've all agreed that these have to be great games, and the critics got it absolutely wrong, and we are grilling them.
I
no questions
misunderstood the
asked.
game. I would like time to review my list.
Nope.
Too late.
Nope. Too late. We're here. This is what we're doing. The Peanut Gallery, the Certified Bad Takers, the Dumpster Fire Elite will get 2 minutes
Hey, that's me.
to come back at you with questions about why you think this game is good, and you got to defend it. At the end, we'll take a vote. If 2 of us say, you know what, I'd try it, you get your points. If 2 of us say, nah, it sounds like garbage, no points for you. You get a point for every 10 steps it is under a 75. So if it's a 74, you get 1 point. 64, 2 points. And on down the line until we reach. If you convince us to play a 0, congratulations, you win today.
But in a world where you do not get the vote, it does not count and you get 0 points.
Big old fat goose egg.
In fact, you have to then play the game before you're allowed to have an opinion on the show again. I don't know.
I will spin the wheel of names as usual. We will be a regular draft, not a snake draft. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So winning the wheel spin here matters.
Yep. So Axel, why don't you spin the wheel and let's get started with the bad game defend off.
Slap me up there in
Wheel
court right
of
now.
names. Who gets the first pick? This
the
wheel
first
is
defense.
broken. This wheel is broken. Stop it, wheel. Stop it.
Oh, Erik?
It's Erik.
Come on.
Yeah. Who changed the wheel? What the hell's going on?
This is wild.
Second pick is. I would really like it to be me. It is me.
Axel has the second defense.
Ooh, and then between Karsten and Ben, it's Karsten.
All right, so Ben's got the last one.
And if
Ben
I
is
don't-
the anchor.
If I don't
The
spin
closer.
the last one, I know Eric's just gonna yell at me.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean,
Ben!
The last person,
Luke.
it's Luke. It's
We're tagging in Luke at the last minute.
all right. I think we're good to go.
Welcome to Certified Bad Takes, where the defenses are crazy and the points don't matter, except for they do because somebody's playing a bad video game.
I was gonna say the points do actually matter this time. I think I'm just gonna start with Gigantic Rampage Edition.
Okay.
you motherfucker.
Yeah, that's why I started with it, because I was pretty sure that someone else in here was gonna take it if I didn't.
All right. So why is Gigantic Rampage Edition worth playing?
So the game overall, I understand people weren't always a huge fan of the art style because it can get a little hectic, but the game is a phenomenal like hero shooter / MOBA kind of game that blends the two extremely well, has very good balancing, consistently got updates to make sure there weren't problems. I think their combat systems are creative. I think their creature like defense system is very interesting. I think it's just overall really solid.
All
Okay.
right. Well, let's put 2 minutes on the clock. And starting now, the floor is open to the judges in the room.
So why do you think our entire group fell off that game rather quickly?
I mean, I fell off it, and I'm sure Ben fell off it because you guys didn't want to play it, not because the game was bad. But other than that, I assumed it was because of either server issues or lack of people playing it, not that the game was bad.
Yeah, for me, the reason I stopped playing was I had already played the hell out of it, like hundreds of hours, and I could see the writing on the wall where this was not a real developer that had brought it back to continue to work on it. This was a publisher saw the rumblings, hired a small group of people to bring it back to see if they could make money off it with no content release schedule to support it, no actual engine knowledge of how the game functioned and whatnot, so that they couldn't there was no cadence of like updates to come. No new skins, no new characters, no new maps, nothing like that really like there was no release schedule, no roadmap or anything like that. And I think that's really the thing that killed it for me. But I do think it is a travesty that game did not do better.
I can definitely understand the problem with the roadmap. They definitely did not do a good job setting up any sort of roadmap. But like even after you guys stopped playing, I still played it some. Like they were consistently coming out with stuff, ranked seasons, updates, balancing changes, other stuff like that, and they were going to continue, but it just kind of died off.
I think you
easily.
found a sympathetic audience for this one.
I think we're gonna have to put a stop right here on Gigantic because we have other games that we need to get through.
So 3, we vote. 1, 2.
We're doing show hands.
Yeah, we'll do thumbs up. Thumbs up or thumbs down.
Thumbs up or down.
All right. On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. So the Metacritic score was
65.
Unfortunately a 65, not a 64.
No,
So
65
it's
gets
only
you 2 points.
It gets you 2 points.
Oh, okay, 60.
Because
okay,
it goes 75 to 66, and then 65 to 56. Look, we all know that this game was a hot fucking mess when it first came out. But today, it's super fucking fun, and it deserves a lot more love than it's getting. I'm bringing Fallout 76 on the board.
Okay, so why should we play Fallout 76?
Look, if you're a Fallout fan, it's a must play today. The content is fucking phenomenal. You can play with a whole bunch of friends. People can come in and out of your game. The story is actually interesting. The map is massive. The AI has been actually fix, and whoa, there's actual humans in the game now, like human NPCs, which didn't exist for like a year and a half of that game. I have played it twice with 2 different friends, and I would love to get a full group on it because I think it could be our next big hustle game that we play. But I'm also a complete Fallout hoe. I absolutely love the stories of Fallout, and actively, I think this is the best thing that Bethesda has done in the last maybe 10 years.
Let's open the floor because I got shit to say about this one.
I would say that is a low bar to begin with.
Sure.
Like, best thing Bethesda's done in the last 10 years is basically like ground level scraping your face on the dirt. Like,
Yeah.
You don't count Skyrim.
no.
Here's my
You forgot about Skyrim, and Skyrim.
Shit. And
Here's
Elder
my
Scrolls Online.
Here's my thing. I played that game when it came out, and like 3 years later, I would still rather play ESO Online than that.
Absolutely not.
It does
Absolutely
not feel good to play.
I just played it 6 months ago with Will, and we had an absolute blast. I think legitimately in the last year that game has only gotten better, and it is absolutely worth the time to put in today. Everything about that game today is absolutely worth every minute spent in it.
Go ahead, Ben.
Oh, I was going to go on a different tangent, so if you want to finish yours, you can.
It just feels grindy to me. Like, when I play a Fallout game, I want to hop in there, blow some shit up, find some power armor, probably murder a kid who didn't deserve it.
Really?
There was a walking security issue. It should have been illegal for them to publish it. It was so bad. Like, they literally, there was no redeeming factors about it. It had nothing going for it. It was technically garbage. It was boring. It was uninteresting. It was a security problem. It barely felt like Fallout. The servers weren't stable. It was just griefing central in the multiplayer to begin with. It had nothing going for it. It was the worst game launch in the history of game launches, and there are some really bad ones to go against.
I would like a judge here. I'm specifically talking about how the game state is today.
Okay. So, with those arguments made, time to vote on 3. 1, 2, 3.
What?
To be fair, I don't think you addressed the criticism of how it came out and like, hey, they fixed all these things. Like,
That's ridiculous.
I think you got it. I think he got you on that one.
If we were talking about just now, then I would be more open to it. But I think you cannot forgive the entire history of the game.
Yeah, because its Metacritic score is dependent on the entire history of the game, not just how it functions now.
All right, Axel, what was the Metacritic on this one?
52.
Ooh, I respect going for the long shot to start.
That was a bit
Went
higher
deep.
than I expected it to be. I was expecting it to be in the 40s.
Man, 52 is a swing for the fences.
I think we're gonna get some
legitimately,
more.
I really do think it'd be fun as a group to at least give it a shot.
I think that's fair.
Let's move
They
to the
need
next.
to learn a lesson.
Let's
Alright,
move to the next person because we do need to move forward
Yeah.
here.
All right, so this one, I've talked about it before. This is one of the greatest game franchises out there that gets no love. I'm going with Earth Defense Force 4.1, The Shadow of New Despair. To explain Earth Defense Force is to
That's
say
a long
this.
title.
It is. You just look up Earth Defense Force 4.1. Take everything you love about Helldivers. Hopping in, shooting bugs, shooting robots, running around with your friends, trying to clear a planet. Take about 80% of the polish off, add about 60% more Japaneseness, and then drop in photorealistic bugs, and the most camp, self-aware, hilarious game you've ever played. You got 4 classes. They're all broken. They're all ridiculous. But you hop in, you start fighting photorealistic ants, photorealistic spiders, random bees. Godzilla can just randomly drop in. You can summon a mech and box Godzilla, literally. You box Godzilla.
Are you
Oh,
sure
well,
this isn't
singing-
just a Borderlands game?
No, but Borderlands took a lot of vibes from this. Also, you could do this while singing a morale-raising song that is a version of the Battle Hymn of the Republic about how all the soldiers are dying and still trying to fight these bugs. It is wonderful. Everybody should play Earth Defense Force. I open the floor for criticism.
I need to look up pictures.
Why
of
am
this
I?
game.
Why am I getting like Kaiju number 8 vibes from this?
That's basically what it is.
It looked like, looking at the stuff in this game, it looks like it is way older than 2015.
They don't
Wait, it's a 2015 game?
Yeah,
This
it
game
looks like
was
it's from
released on the
2015.
It's like a 2006.
That's part of the fun of it. It's like they didn't spend a ton of money on the graphics, and they were just like, "Look, we had $2 in a shoestring and a box. What we gave you is complete and utter comedy. It's
Like,
so good."
There's other games that sound similar to this where I'm like, I can't see myself ever playing that over one of the other ones.
But that's the thing: is this game is nothing but hilarity.
So here's the big question. How does it feel to play though? Like does it feel like they had $2 and a shoestring, or
It feels like you're playing a PS2 game, but laughing the entire time.
On a PS4 game. It feels like you're
On
playing
a
a
PS4
PS2 game
yes.
on a PS4.
And it's worth every penny.
That is not
It
a
is
selling
glad.
point. I gotta be honest with you. That's
Yeah,
not
I'm telling you.
mediocre
I'm telling you.
controls are like
how much did they charge?
No for me.
This game came out, it was $40.
Jesus, $40 too expensive.
I disagree.
$40
I would
too
say
expensive.
$30 too expensive, but
I disagree. Like I understand, like, oh, the controls aren't perfect. Yes. Is it a little goofy? All right. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah! Let's go, baby!
bad controls are such a killer for me. You
I
don't have
think-
consistent controls, I can't stand it.
The game sounds fun enough where it would be a trip to do one night.
Yeah. Even if you don't enjoy it after the first couple of missions, it's so cheap, it's so stupid. The score for Earth Defense Force 4.1 on the PlayStation 4 was a 64.
2 pointerooskies.
I will
I'm
take
the-
2 points.
I'm the only one without a fucking point now.
But we don't know about Ben yet.
I haven't even gone yet.
Man, I was so sure that fucking Fallout was gonna be able to be passed. That
All
was
right,
a
Ben, what you
gimme
got?
to me.
All right, so I've got a whole bunch of them that I could go for that I'll try later, but we'll start with arguably one of the most controversial ones. We're gonna go with Assassin's Creed Unity.
Oh,
I have
Oh,
harped
oh.
on this before
yes.
that I think Assassin's Creed Unity is one of the best Assassin's Creed titles, full stop. I think the reason that it got so much flack was because on launch it had a few technical issues that got solved pretty quickly, but people wanted to hop on that train. It wasn't as bad as, so that's the thing, I think it got blown out of proportion to no end. Like, I played on launch and encountered virtually no issues. But because people were posting half of a face on Reddit and people were like, wow, look at this game, it's a disaster. Everyone just wanted to grill Ubisoft for just Assassin's Creed being not what they maybe had hoped it would be. That said, I think it had the smoothest and highest fidelity parkour of any Assassin's Creed game, still to this date, surpassing anything that we've gotten recently. It just looks better, it's more fluid, it feels in a lot of ways more realistic. There are some things about it that are a little off. Gameplay-wise, completely solid. It's the only Assassin's Creed that I know of that actually had proper multiplayer, not just their weird, like, PvP thing that they did where, like, you had to blend into the crowd and, like, kill each other or whatever, but, like, actual, like, cooperative mission, like, multiplayer with multiple people doing missions, which was, like, exactly what was missing from Assassin's Creed, and I was so mad that they didn't keep it around. It had arguably the best graphics in the series. Even today, those graphics still hold up. Like, Yes, the current ones look good, but like they have just been a very gradual thing. The jump that Unity made was insane from like prior titles. It improved in so many ways, and the only price was it had a few bugs early that got patched within the first week that some people saw, and some people really wanted to roast them on Reddit for. I think that game's got grilled, and it did not deserve it. And I think that the fact that we got some pretty bad Assassin's Creeds for a little while after that is the price that we deserved to pay for that.
All right, floor is open to the judges.
I have no questions.
Erik, anything?
I have no questions because I knew the moment you said the name, I knew where I was voting.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't have a huge amount of questions. I mean, explained his problems with it pretty thoroughly. I don't really have a huge opinion one way or another on Assassin's Creed. It's never been my favorite type of game, but I am more inclined to play multiplayer games than single player games most of the time.
I'm gonna let you. For the sake of argument, I really don't have a gripe with Unity, but I just think we can. I think you got one where we're all in agreement. It got more gruff than it should have. So we'll go right to the voting.
I think it's literally the game that turned Ubisoft into a company that were scared to innovate and do things.
I think so too.
They got literally pummeled in that game so bad that it stopped them from being innovative for 10 years.
You know, Axel, that's a good point. Thank you for reminding me why I'm downvoting this stupid ass dumpster fire.
There you go.
Is it literally just because it's Ubisoft?
Just because it's Ubisoft.
That dude hates Ubisoft. You were screwed no matter what. We got to get to the voting, boys.
All right, voting. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, that's an obvious yes.
Yes. So what was the Metacritic here?
The Metacritic for this one is the highest so far. It is a 72.
I also think it's the second best parkour game ever made.
If I wanted to add one more thing to the already upvoted thing, when Notre Dame burned down, they used the AC Unity model of Notre Dame to help rebuild. Yeah, like if that's not like a glowing review of sorts about the attention to detail and quality that like was paid to that game and their efforts, I don't know what is.
It's the game where they took so many shots and they know, like, people were just so fucking cruel about it.
Next game. I'm going to go with Sonic Adventure 2 Battle.
Battle?
What? How is that low?
We weren't voting right away? Okay, my bad.
No, go ahead. You're also a crazy person. But yes, Erik, please explain Sonic 2 Battle to everybody.
Sonic Adventure 2 Battle might be the best Sonic game they ever made.
That's a fucking stretch, but please continue.
Its story was very good. The gameplay was very solid, fluid, consistent, long story, okay replayability as far as a Sonic game goes. And the biggest point for me, at least, is the aspect of the game that like really drives that game that they just completely dumped and ignored for all other Sonic games for no reason, which in my opinion is what caused them to not be as popular. But like the Chow Garden in that game, letting your guys have little pets that they create and race and battle and do all these other things, and you have to play the story missions and do the achievements and stuff to unlock stuff to give your chows to turn them into to give them certain buffs or debuffs. And like you can raise a bunch of chows, you can watch them grow and change depending on what you feed them and what you give them. Like, why is that not a part of all Sonic games since that? Like, it's a huge thing that like communities have shown that they love. It's like similar to a Pokemon concept or any farm raiser. Like, people love those games. Why are you not having that be part of your game?
I have one big question for Erik. What about those motherfucking Tails and Eggman levels? Those are ass. And I mean ass.
They could have been better. There's hard to argue whether they would be better or not. There's not a lot of them. It's mostly Sonic or Knuckles or Shadow Sonic in that game. You don't have to do them very much, and they, for the most part, you don't have to replay them as much for the stuff that has to do with the chows. So it didn't bother me as much, but I definitely hear you. They were not the best.
I've never played a Sonic game in my entire life, so I literally have. You'd have to sell me on the notion of why I would want to fucking play Sonic.
Because you get these really cute little Digimon, Pokemon looking guys that you get to raise, and you get to customize them and feed them and take care of them and race them and battle them and have them do a bunch of different activities. And like, depending on what you feed them or how you make them change, they can be like angels or dragons or ghosts or a bunch of different things, and it affects their stats, so you can do different things with them.
I mean,
Okay.
it's weird to me that you're focusing on so much on like 20% of the game,
It's not, though. It's a huge portion of the game.
or maybe a little more. I not more
Like,
than 40%.
It's what gives it replayability. Like the Sonic game, Sonic games themselves, the problem with them a lot is there's essentially no replayability. But the chows it's like a whole second game inside the game that there's so much variability in options you can just keep doing forever.
It has been 2 minutes. I think we need to get to a vote.
All right, on 3. 1, 2, 3.
I will take my 1 point.
This is a resounding yes for me.
This
This is one of the best Sonic games ever.
It's one of those things that is so out of my purview, and every time I've tried to play it, it's just like it does nothing for me.
Look up like chows in the Chow Garden, and you'll want to play it.
From the City
So
is one of the best video game songs ever. And the fact that this game opens with just like, it just right out of the gate, you like, what is it? You jump out of a plane or a helicopter or whatever, and just like, bam, damp, 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 with just like that funky bass line, and then just like drop into this like skateboarding, sledding, snowboarding thing through a city with this like ripping rock thing. My god.
The music's phenomenal. Like, all the gameplay outside of some of the Tails and Eggman stuff is great.
All right, we got to continue on. Sorry.
Yep.
All right. Well,
You're
I
next.
guess the first round, I'm the only loser.
Still time to come back.
Okay. Hear me out, boys. It is early 2010. You wake up in the morning, you go play on your little screen with your friends that just had a sleepover, and you're playing co-op as 4 military guys walking through forests or tight corridors, and all of a sudden, a fucking spooky-ass alien shows up out of nowhere and tries to eat you. But at the same time, there's another monster called the Predator that comes around and fucks up that alien. And then you're in a 3-way battle between soldiers, Predator, and aliens. And that battle just continues going till those military guys manage to escape or die in that world. Yes, I am pitching.
I'd watch a movie about it.
Alien versus Predator, the game. Because that game fucking slaps, and I will hear nothing about it.
Okay, so the one that ties into the movie, not the old school one on like fucking the Jaguar that was awesome. We're talking about the one that ties into the movie.
I'm talking I don't know if it actually ties into the movie because it was on Xbox 360. It might tie to the movie. I don't actually know.
The 2010 one, right?
Yeah, but I remember playing that game as squatting up and fucking just the 3-way battles that happen in that game where you're like, oh my god, I'm getting fucked up by an alien, and all of a sudden the Predator would like cap the alien, and then you'd fall down and your entire team would start capping the predator, and it was just like a constant triangle battle because every time like two groups would fight one group and then they would all turn on each other. Oh, that game, only positive memories to me. That game was the fucking belle of the ball. I can't think of another game where 3 team battles that were done this fun happened again.
All right, I got a question.
Yeah.
I didn't play this.
Mm-hmm.
Was it fun to play as a military dude, or were you just kind of
Yes.
like getting your ass kicked until you got to play as the alien or the predator?
No, it was super fun because like you had some really powerful weapons, but also the more people that shot together, the more bonuses you would get to the damage. So you were forced to actually work with your like friends. It wasn't just like the more bullets would go into one area of the alien or the predator, the more damage you would do. So you'd be forced to actually work in tandems and like work together.
So my thing is this. It sounds like a game where I have to have friends, otherwise I'm going to have a fucking bad time.
I mean, yeah, but that's like most multiplayer games. Yes, you need to have friends. Thankfully, you're part of a Discord with a whole bunch of friends.
Would you have even thought of playing it if you hadn't heard Alien vs. Predator and its connection to the movies?
That
was going to be my question.
They had the creatures had random names that you'd never heard of.
Yeah, easily. And I can tell you why. In 2010, I didn't watch movies. Like, movies were not a thing that I gave a shit about. That's a thing that unlocked further in my adulthood. And then when it unlocked, I started watching a whole lot of fucking movies. When that game came out, I remember playing it, and I had no idea those were IPs that existed.
All right. I guess if there's no other questions, we'll go to a vote. All right, let's vote on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yes, I have made it through. That game slaps.
What's the Metacritic?
64.
Wow.
2 points.
A hot 2 points.
On Steam today, it's overwhelmingly positive.
For my next game, I'm going to go with Dynasty Warriors Gundam on the PS3.
God damn it.
Dynasty Warriors Gundam. That's not something you hear together a lot.
But it works so goddamn well. And I can do the explanation pretty quickly. You know Dynasty Warriors where you run around and beat up a bunch of people as a fucking Chinese warlord and just whoop their ass from pillar to post, and it's great. Like just killing an insane amount of fucking people.
Yeah, it's just a worse version of Mystic Heroes.
Take that, but it's a giant fucking robot. And you're beating the shit out of giant robots on space and on Earth and shooting crazy laser beams and beating the shit out of other giant robots and flying around and just whooping everybody's ass. That is Dynasty Warriors Gundam. Is it the best game? No. Will you have the time of your fucking life flying around in a big ass robot kicking people in the face? Absolutely. That's my pitch. Dynasty Warriors Gundam. Opening the floor to questions.
Do you play as the warlord or do you play as a Gundam?
You play as the Gundam. You play as a pilot in a
Gundams. There's
It's
no.
all
So it plays like a Dynasty Warriors, but it's the theme of Gundam.
It's a Gundam game, yes.
But guys, I don't know if you can talk me out of giving a positive thumb here.
It is the perfect. Just I'm gonna fly around with this big ass robot and fuck shit up, and it's great.
Are the enemies that you fuck up also Gundams, or are they like Chinese warlords?
They are Gundams.
And are they like smaller or like weaker than you? So is it like thousands? Do you end up in like
produced? They're mass-produced Gundams versus independent unique.
Yeah. What I'm asking is like in Dynasty Warriors, you end up in like the thousands of kills.
Yes.
Is it like that? And are the bosses also like special Gundams?
They are also special Gundams.
Oh yeah, we can just go to the votes then.
You fight the other special Gundams from the series that fly in to stop you from blowing up everything.
It's not on Steam, which hurts you a little bit because I have nowhere to play it.
Ben, Eric, do you guys have questions?
My problem is like if you don't love giant mech fights, it's just worse Dynasty Warriors or worse Mystic Heroes.
I don't think it's worse. I think it's better because there's more mechanics and more space to fly around. Like the space battles operate in 3 dimensions, So you have up, down, and you have to think about everything above you. So you're doing wild combos where you're flying up and kicking somebody in the head, and then going down and then smacking somebody down here, and then shooting laser beams. It's awesome.
Okay. Yeah, I'm ready to vote.
Yep.
But I'm a simple man.
Alrighty. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Hey, I'll take it.
I'll give it to you.
Still don't think I would play it over others of that category, but it's still fine. Like if you want to play local or like single player game, you beat up a bunch of stuff. It's hard to fuck up.
Y'all ready for the Metacritic?
62.
I'm thinking 43.
60 dead on.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So 2
That
points.
also 2 points? Yeah.
Yep. All right, we're moving and shaking. We're getting a lot of approvals. I think we are passionate about some of these games that may or may not be great. I love so.
Ben, what is your second game?
All right. So, picture classic games that you love of the 90s and early 2000s. Things like GoldenEye, Donkey Kong 64, Super Mario Sunshine, 3D platformers, maybe a little bit of multiplayer, co-op or whatever. That, like, playing with your brother or sister, having a good old time, like, just beating each other up in the, like, co-op PvP local multiplayer modes before online multiplayer was even a thing, right? Just having a good time with your friends and stuff in those environments. Now, what's a cool wrapper for all that stuff that isn't just a Mario or Donkey Kong or something like that? How about a old comic strip? Introducing Spy vs. Spy. This game was so criminally underrated. It was a very difficult game. And I will give you that the controls on it were sometimes a little frustrating, as many games in that kind of era were, because this is a 2005 game. This was, again, before even Halo had fully figured out how to do proper, like, FPS controls, right? So it was in that weird control scheme era. So that said, essentially, Spy vs. Spy had single player, it had multiplayer, it had multiple game modes, it had difficulties and all the stuff that you could want from it. It had like puzzle solving mechanics built into its like PvP components. It had race type stuff. It had like miniature battle royale mechanics to be like last person standing, like deathmatch and all that stuff. It had a number of different weapons and things that you could use. It had like even like aim systems and stuff, right? Where you could aim down sights at people and actually like fire things to deal damage or to do puzzles and stuff like that, right? It was just slapstick, fun, entertaining game that like was also challenging and like everything that you wanted out of that era of games.
You said it was the 2005 one, right?
Yep, 2005 one.
All right, I got questions.
Yeah.
Why does this look like Jank Spyro meets like Bad Medieval?
I need to look up Bad Medieval.
Like Medieval, the fucking PlayStation game where you play as a skeleton fighting and shit.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. What? Baddie.
Like I'm watching this and like I don't know, man.
To me, it just seems like a slightly worse version of a lot of games around that time.
I mean, 2005 is pretty early in games world, right? Like, there were other good games that came out around that time for sure. Like, Halo 2 and stuff was around at that time too, and that
I'm
kind of
just comparing
stuff
it
would...
to other games that are like this one. Like,
Sure.
that look similar and look like they'd have a similar feel.
Was it a PvP game? Or was it
It had single player and multiplayer.
Okay,
it had a
gotcha.
single player campaign with difficulty levels, and then it also had a multiplayer component with like 4 or 5 different game modes to it.
All right, I think our time is up. I think it's time to vote.
All right.
On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Resounding,
Wow.
the first triple down tick.
I look at that and I'm like, man, I could be playing Ratchet and Clank.
Yep.
That's
That's my problem. Like, there's so many other games that are similar to it that I'd rather play. Doesn't look like it has any real new mechanics to it. Sorry, Katie, I cut you off there.
No, you're good. That's where I was going. Sure.
But that's fine.
What was your
Fine, I'm only
Metacritic
hurt
on
a little
that?
bit. The Metacritic on that one, 53.
Ooh. What's the lowest game that's been passed?
64? 60.
I got through with a 60.
Yep.
All right, Eric, your last and final game. What you got?
Torn between the two ones that I was going to pick between. I'm going to go with another old one and go with Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories.
Oh, fuck! You're so close to taking mine.
So,
make your pitch for Forbidden Memories.
You got to take into account that this game is not like other Yu-Gi-Oh! Games. They technically have the same cards, but you could essentially remove Yu-Gi-Oh! From the title and it would be fine. Because the game plays very differently than the game Yu-Gi-Oh! Plays. But it's a good card game with unique fusion interactions, because you could, like, if you had your hand of 5 cards, you could put all of them up for play on one turn, and then they go from one side to the other, and if 2 cards were compatible with each other, they'd fuse. But then if the next one wasn't, it would bump them and restart the chain. But if you had the right chains, you could get a bunch in a row to fuse to something really strong that would allow you to be able to beat stronger opponents earlier on. And there was multiple different ways to like win matches. So they had a system that was like you won the match by pure force, or you won the match by technical victory. And each tier, and like they would give you a rating of B to A, and each tier would give you a chance at rolling different or better cards from that person's loot pool. But as far as it also is one of the only Yu-Gi-Oh games to date, and card games that I know of, that created 3D models for each monster in the game, and you could watch them fight.
That's a positive sell.
All right. Opening the floor to the judges.
Why would I play this one over another Yu-Gi-Oh game?
Over another Yu-Gi-Oh game?
Yeah, like
because
why would I play
all
this
the other
one?
Yu-Gi-Oh games, for the most part, pretty much all of them, are T by T the rules of Yu-Gi-Oh. Like, you're going to be, if you play any of the other Yu-Gi-Oh games, you're just going to be playing the game exactly Yu-Gi-Oh. This game plays very differently. The way that the fusion system works is not part of regular Yu-Gi-Oh. So like I could have 2, like let's say my starting deck had 2, like a monster that was like 500, 800, and a monster that was like 700, 700 for attack and defenses. If they were compatible, like let's say one was a dragon and one was an electric type guy, you could fuse them into a card that was an electric dragon that was much stronger. And you could chain fusion them. If you took another, like it would turn into what was called Thunder Dragon. And then since Thunder Dragon is the middle part of the chain on the fusion to twin-headed Thunder Dragon, once you had Thunder Dragon, if you fused it with another dragon or electric type, it would go to twin-headed, which was a very strong monster, especially early in the game. So you could, instead of just having a bunch of weak monsters early on that you then have to try and open packs and do stuff for, if you got the right combinations of weak monsters, you could fuse them into very strong things and compete with different guys much earlier on than you would normally be able to.
Gotcha. Anybody have any other questions for Erik?
No, he knew his audience on this one. All right, voting on 3.
The audience is you,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Voting on 3.
I as far as like card games goes, I think anyone would enjoy it, not just a Yu-Gi-Oh fan.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Oh, I don't like being this because I haven't made up my mind. I'm giving it the down. I'm sorry.
Y'all are crazy. Forbidden Memories is great. It's not Yu-Gi-Oh! Because during this era, there weren't rules for Yu-Gi-Oh! So it's
That's-
the game's fucking wild.
I think that's
such a good
why.
card game. You just have to not account for Yu-Gi-Oh. Like it has a Yu-Gi-Oh title, but you could just remove that and it'd be its own card game. It is such a good card game.
I think that's part of my problem with it, though, is like someone had to make the rules, and someone had to stick to them. And it seemed like for the longest time, no one wanted to make the rules, and it was just Wild West whatever, which is then just tacking an IP onto whatever you feel like.
But that
Which
has
feels
to do
lazy.
with Yu-Gi-Oh, not this game.
I can remove the Yu-Gi-Oh name to it. It just doesn't sound like a thing that I would have interest in from what I was listening to.
All right, Axel, what's your last and final game?
Well, I'm going to tell a story here. I'm going to come into this with a story. Wee little Axel, the non-American boy, didn't have
Wee-wee.
the culture of Americanized movies like all of you did. I didn't grow up with some epic American movies like some of you did. Like, you know, the Jurassic Park or the Temple of Doom, Indiana Jones movies. So I didn't have this, what?
Do they not have those?
No.
Over
not
there?
not really. Imagine everything that comes out in the US comes out 10 years later in France.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, pretty much.
For a long time, it was like that. I'm not sure if it's still.
We're talking when like DVDs didn't exist and it was like cassettes and shit. So I didn't really grow up with a lot of like hyper cool Americanized movies. So when I picked up this game, it completely started a interest in a major franchise that was completely new and fresh to me. And it was a non-canonical story that was being told in the story, but still was part of that world that I got to love in the future. And the game that allowed me to have this little peek, this little window into the soul of one of the greatest American movie franchises. And it's Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2. First off, you got to play as a bad guy, a really cool bad guy with really cool fucking force powers. The story was fun. The story didn't fucking hold punches back. The controls were actually great and still playable today. And it made it very clear we are not canonical and we are here to just have fun. But for people that didn't know Star Wars, it allowed a peek into that universe and got them interested in it. So yeah, my pitch today is Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2.
So here's my question. Why should I play the second one over the first one?
Oh, you should play both, just factually. The first one gives you why you are the way you are and how you got there. And the second one is you are fucking tired of everybody's shit and you are now taking over and you are the new Sith Lord.
My thing about it, go ahead.
My recollection is fuzzy, but if I remember correctly, one of the big criticisms of the second one was that it was just exactly the first one, but it was worse in a number of ways, which is not what you would expect from a sequel. You would expect a sequel to at least be on a similar level of quality.
I remember the first couple hours of the game started off very similarly to the first one. But after, it's the same thing that people say about Dead Space 3. Dead Space 3 is not worth playing because it's super actiony, but really it's only actiony for the first like 2 or 3 hours of the game, and then it really calms down. It's the same idea that was put on Force Unleashed 2. People are like, it's the same game, but once you get past the first couple hours, it pivots and it becomes its own thing, and it's really great.
Why did it need to exist? Because I remember playing Force Unleashed, getting to that ending point of like, oh, that's really fucking cool, and being like, cool, please don't ever make another one of these. This was awesome.
I'm going to be honest with you. I hate that notion because if we say that every time a great IP comes out, why bother making another one? Then we'll never get anything like the series just dies. And I want games that I love. I want games to take chances and continue making IPs of things that I love and take chances.
On that concept, to me, it depends on how you end it. Like, if you end it setting up like, oh yeah, there's gonna be more of these, or there could be more of these, but like if you ended it at a pretty definitive point, or like it comes to a very solid conclusion, I don't think that you need to make more.
I disagree entirely because 2 stories in 2 games can be in the same world without having to be directly connected to each other. A story can end in the first one and then something can happen that launches the second one. They don't have to be connected outside of the character is further in their story. Stories can happen and start a new branch. They don't have to have a connection. For me, that game gave me more. I wanted more and I got more. I loved the first one and the second one was equally as fun and gave me more of the story. That's all I wanted from it.
All right. Everybody, time to vote. 3, 2, 1. I gotta go down. I
have qualms with it, but I was willing to give it to you.
I just don't. Yeah. And it may be a mental block on my part. I just don't see why it needed to exist. Like, make a Force Unleashed 2, but make it a different character. Make Jedi Star Wars: The Force Unleashed : The Wrath of whatever. Like, do what you did with Dark Forces and Jedi Academy. And like it actually felt more creatively bankrupt to me than it did like cool. You know what I mean?
I don't, but that's fine.
What was your Metacritic on that one?
61.
All right, we're all swinging big here. All right, my turn. Eric, I will defend your honor because I'm going back to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Well.
Ooh.
During
Good
that
luck.
time when Forbidden Memories came out, and yes, nobody really knew what Yu-Gi-Oh! Was, but I also think it gave us some really fun creative games like Forbidden Memories and Duelist of the Roses. And my pick, the one nobody talks about,
Is it Dungeon Dice Monsters?
No, fuck no,
Damn
it's
it.
not Dungeon Dice Monsters.
That game was fun as shit.
But the one I think is the coolest of the 3, which is Yu-Gi-Oh! The False Bound Kingdom. It is an Etrian Odyssey RPG style game with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Monsters in it with a fucking Pokemon collectible aspect. You wander around the map, you fight the monsters, you bring them into your group, you build an army, and you go attack castles. And there are 3 separate stories, there's 3 different paths through it, where you have to fight each one of the Egyptian gods to get yourself out of this like 3D virtual world. And it's awesome. There's a reason that like people still talk about it fondly to this day. It's a little slow. I will give it that. It's a little slow. But man, it is fun to be in like a Final Fantasy VII style world with your Yu-Gi-Oh! Monsters picking attacks and choosing what you attack and how you order them. And just playing a really cool RPG. It's something I wish Konami would bring back. I think there's space in the franchise to do stuff like this. And yeah, instead of it just being a card game simulator, do something cool with the IP, bring something new to it. And I think this is one of the best games I ever made.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm already ready to vote on this one.
Oh,
All right, questions?
You just have 2 Yu-Gi-Oh! Fucking lovers here.
I'm not really a Yu-Gi-Oh! Lover.
I was gonna say, I don't think Ben's a big Yu-Gi-Oh! Lover.
I'm lukewarm on it.
I'm the one who plays it competitively. Yes, I'm the Yu-Gi-Oh! Lover. All right, questions?
No, not really.
All right, I have a question that you're not gonna have an answer for.
Shoot, I might.
Why is it that they had to make all the models so small?
So they were. I can actually
screenshots and they're all teeny little tiny looking guys.
I can actually answer this. So when Erik mentioned it was the first one with 3D models, they used the 3D models across the 3 games because they were all in development at the same time, and they just hit different platforms. Those are the models from the PS1, slightly up-resed, so they're very small to save space on disk.
All right.
Also, the GameCube disc was a nightmare to put stuff on. So, yeah, there's that too.
I mean, that's what happens when you have a disc that's this big.
So, realistically, why play this over other RPGs that were exactly the same?
There is some uniqueness to how you capture the monsters, and also the story is fucking hilarious. And that's part of the reason that people come back to this game is like Yugi and Kaiba being stuck in a 3D simulation and still beefing with each other because they're just there, even though the only way out is for them to work together, is so funny. Like Kaiba just being a head ass at all times is always comedy gold.
All right, fair enough. Let's go vote.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
We're all afraid now.
Oh, no, I went for it.
Yeah, let's go, baby.
I was on the fence about it because it doesn't really look that much different than I had.
Most people pick their card game.
Yeah, and honestly, at this point, mine is Magic, and I hate myself for it. Shit, I almost
And you're right for it.
I
It's the
almost
best one.
I almost brought up Magic Duels of the Planeswalker as one of my games, and I was like, no, I don't hate myself enough.
All right, my Metacritic on that one is a 44.
I think he just wins.
That's a hot
Did you-
4 points for me.
You slid all 3 through. Woo!
And I picked some garbage. There was some garbage on that list.
And I didn't pick garbage.
All right. Here's my real one. I'm going with Backyard Soccer. This is another one that Metacritic didn't even bother to review. And the reviews for this game in general were so polarizing that I don't even know what score I could attribute to this thing, but I had a bone to pick with these reviews. I was seeing reviews, some of them were 8s out of 10. I saw multiples that were 2 out of 10 and 3 out of 10. Someone should be banished from writing articles about video games for saying that Backyard Soccer or any of the backyard sports games in general are anything other than great games. I will allow you to have the opinion that later on, when they just kind of re-released it the Skyrim style of, yeah, we just released the new version on a new console or whatever, like, I'll give you that one to be upset about that one. But the originals were masterpieces. Like, you could, like, the amount of depth that went into those games and team building, and to make it so incredibly approachable for children, and to make it as replayable as it was, that's no easy thing to do. And, like, there's a lot of kids that got introduced to sports and grew a love for sports and fantasy sports and, like, sports simulations and, like, simulation games in general from games like Backyard Soccer, Backyard Baseball, Backyard Football, all of them, you know? Like, those are a huge part of people's childhood. So for people to rate these things like 2 out of 10, I am upset.
Hear me out. Soccer is so fucking boring.
I would have you fight the, like, 3 billion or whatever other people on this planet that are soccer and football, you know, not American football fans that have a bone to pick with you about that opinion.
Yeah, I mean, people can be stupid. I don't know what you want to hear, but soccer is so fucking boring.
You will hear no slander from me. Those games fucking smack.
You're stuck not only playing soccer, but playing it inside on a console and not actually playing soccer.
Listen, not all of us had friends.
I couldn't think of anything more boring in my entire life.
Play one of the other sports then. They had baseball. Pablo
You're
was
not
still
pitching
incredible.
one of the other sports. You're pitching soccer.
I said all of them technically will fit under my umbrella of things I am mad about this for, but
Pitched
I had to
soccer as
pick
your
one.
vote.
All right, let's go to the voting, boys.
I think I gave you. This is you're a madman. You're a monster.
Ben, I'm with you. They're crazy. They're out of their minds, man. Backyard football, backyard baseball, backyard soccer.
I'm starting
Oh,
a
no.
petition.
I'm only voting negative because there's no backyard hockey.
There is.
There's backyard hockey.
Never mind. I'm giving a plus.
No, you're fucking not.
And it was great too.
I've changed my vote. I'm giving a thumbs up.
Yeah, man. Fucking Mike Madonna was on the cover of the first one. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, so that was the thing is the like first games they just had like random kids. And then as they had done releases, they started bringing in stars from games as children. to supplement the roster. So like they had people like in baseball they had Randy Johnson and boy, why am I blanking?
Ken Griffey Jr. was in the first one.
Yeah, Ken Griffey Jr.
Yes, agreed.
Soccer
Agreed.
sucks.
All right, gentlemen, we accomplished it. Congratulations to me for getting through a 44 overall. Therefore, I win. Karsten wins again. What I do around these parts. But honestly, great work, all of you. Fantastic games you brought to the table. Lots of passion. Folks, try some of these games out. They're actually, a lot of them are really good.
No.
And in the end, we're all winners because we didn't have to play soccer today.
All right. So if you liked the episode, please like and subscribe. If you didn't, blame Erik for hating on soccer. It is his fault.
No, fucking blame soccer for sucking something fierce. It's not my fault.
Leave your games that you loved that weren't scored so high in the comments below. We definitely love to interact with everybody.
That's the ending of this video.
Yeah,
just
no, for sure. For sure. Absolutely.
I'm just saying, Ben should be the one that has to play Yu-Gi-Oh! The False Bound Kingdom. He'll probably enjoy it. Just saying. Ben should have to play the game.
Ben, it has to be you because if it's me, I quit the podcast.